business of survival and wealth on the soil of Lagos to the next level.
Yeah.
First off, good afternoon to you, Adedeji. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm cool. Good evening, Lagosians.
Good. Good to have you in the studio. How are
Merci
you?
beaucoup. Ah,
You
je
don't look
disais
you,
good.
you don't look like you came into the studio walking under the sun.
I'm a proud farmer too. I eat good food.
No. You don't have to be under the sun because you want to farm. I hope you know that because you can't afford to allow the food eat you before you eat the food. Because it's going to amount to the food eating you before you eat the food.
Yeah.
If you have to stay under the sun, right?
Absolutely.
Good afternoon once again, Lagos, with over 22 million and growing population every single day. This city consumes, a reasonable amount of, well over 10 billion worth of food, right? Think about that figure. And when you think about that, you'd think, so what is the percentage of what we produce in Lagos? Oh, well, it is less than average. And that is why the Lagos state government is doing everything possible. So we are sustainable to a reasonable extent of producing or being sufficient in Lagos for Lagos. Once again, my name is Taiwo Barua. Today on Lagos Farmer, our guest is the Director, Agribusiness, Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems, Mrs. Aramide Gansallo. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
How are
Good
you
afternoon,
today?
Lagosians. Thanks for having me.
All right, it's good to have you in the studio. Let's get down to business. Talking about Lagos, often seen as, the city of excellence, apparently. But when it comes to food production, we're beyond excellent. We consume a lot, right? But then let's talk about the 5-year roadmap for food systems. Can you break down how Agribusiness Department is turning Lagos from just a consumer state into a state producing this food by this year, 2026?
Thank you. Thank you, moderator. Yes, people have the perception that Lagos does not produce food, but that is not correct. As much as we consume so much food that we could not produce, we still have what we produce in Lagos. And there was a summit sometimes in 2017 that brought about the department, the Agribusiness Department, because there was a gap between production and the markets. And so the agribusiness was created. And the main function of the Agribusiness Department is to promote investments, private investments in agriculture, to ensure that farmers embrace agriculture as a business rather than as hobby or what they just do. So the business aspect was missing. So the department was created, and we have under that department, we are supposed to make sure that the market aspect is well organized. And so in 2021, after the COVID-19 pandemic and the NSAS issue, and we saw what we went through in Lagos State, whereby all of a sudden food was seized in supply, and we came to ourselves and said, well, we don't have to go through this all over again. And so we had the, I'll call it a stakeholders meeting, and we came about the 5-year roadmap. And in that 5-year roadmap, we had different segments that we trashed and came up with the fact that food must not cease anymore in Lagos State. And so we have the cattle feedlot, whereby we said that we're going to be fattening our own cattle and ensure that we have enough cattle, even if anything happens in Lagos, there'll be enough cattle to be slaughtered for Lagosians. And we talked about the markets. We consume so much. In fact, Lagos State consume over 50% of what is produced in Nigeria or even brought into the country. So we said it will be better for us to ensure that we have enough food. And that brought about the food transformation agenda under the 5-year roadmap, whereby now we trying to put up a logistic hub. We call it Lagos Central Food System Security and Logistic Hub, coming up in Epe, where we can store food for over 90 days for Lagosians without any interruption if anything happens. There is storage facility, aggregation, processing, and all that stuff. You know, food come into Lagos, we hardly have data. We hardly know what comes in. So
Lagos.
That location, we are going to be monitoring a lot of things.
Okay.
Getting data out of it, ensuring that we reduce the post-harvest loss of farmers. We reduce wastage even from the markets. You know, coming from farm, there are losses. When it gets to the market, there are also losses. So all these, the food transformation agenda was looking at, and that is what we are addressing right now with the 5-year roadmap, which is rounding up this year. Another 5-year roadmap is actually coming up, but we are rounding up this last one, this particular year, 2026. And from the logistic or from Epe, we have the smaller one that we call the mid-level agro-produce hub, where they take from the hub. And what they are taking is quality. The price will be, to some extent, controlled so that there'll be no excessive scarcity and inflation in Lagos State.
The generation of the younger folks that we have now are more tech driven, and if all of these you have said is anything to go by, where is the role of technology in all of this?
Thank you so much. Yes, our youths are tech inclined, and we recognize that. And one beautiful thing that have happened in the last 2 years is trying to bring our youth together under one platform. And that's what we call Lagos Agri-Innovation Club.
Okay.
That platform brings together all agribusiness stakeholders, either producers, processor, whatever you do with agric,
sure,
even the e-commerce person or whatever you are able to transform agric into. Whatever innovation you have concerning agric, you are under that umbrella as a youth. And we call it Agri Innovation Club. Under this club, we bring them together and we speak their language. The network, they interact, they do business amongst themselves. It's a community on its own. And we recognize that a lot of youths are doing so much on their own. And if government do not come in, they might not feel their impact. So we invite them under this club, and quarterly we do hang out with them. Also, we do business tours, and a lot of them are enjoying that club because they are doing business together. They are bringing innovation into agriculture. A lot of them are doing marvelous things in agriculture, and they are happy that government recognize that, and we are working together.
Talk to me about their language you talked about. What does that even mean?
You know, like I always say when I go out, youth want something that is sexy to them. You know, they prefer to either be in club, hearing music, doing this, doing. So we make agriculture sexy to them.
Okay. Okay.
by ensuring that even in their hangouts,
Yeah.
you wouldn't know they are farmers.
At their beck and call.
You wouldn't know they are farmers because the way they present themselves, you know that these are youth with a difference, even in agribusiness.
Okay, and thank you. In supporting the youth, are there loans provided? Are they free? Are they
Okay,
with collateral?
okay. What we did, because we have seen what they are doing, we know they will need support one way or the other, even though a number of them are already exposed to commercial banks that are actually ripping them off with the interest. But
Two digits?
yeah, the 2-digit interest, which does not pay any agriculture. We came about what we call Agriton.
Okay.
In Agriton is another platform, not necessarily for the members of the Agri Innovation Club.
Okay.
It's open to every youth that has one innovation or the other to do with agriculture. Now they will pitch their business and they will send in their pitch.
Okay.
We have done that for 2 years now.
Okay.
The first year, we had the grant of 100 million, which was approved by our governor, Abajide Sanwo-Olu. We salute you, sir. The second year, we had the grant of 150 million. This third year, we are going higher, but the amount will not be revealed for now. So this grant is what they pitch for. Based on their pitch, we have jurors that will look at what they have brought in, and after looking at their pitch, we invite them physically. Apart from the physical presentation, we also go to verify what they say they have. And eventually, we have winners, and that brings about the Agri Innovation Summit that we now do in the last 3 years. We had in 2024, we had another one in 2025. We are having another one this year. Is from Agriton to the summit, where the checks will be presented to whoever qualifies. So that is a fund government is giving them free of charge, but they have to merit it.
Competitive.
Yes, it's highly competitive.
That's competitive.
Aside that, we are working with LSETF, and they too are doing wonders with them. If they merit the loan, they give it to them. It's not a grant now. It's a loan which they need to pay back. So those are the certain funds available to our youth presently.
Okay, good. Now, being competitive, is it primarily for Lagosians, or it's for any farmer that lives in Lagos?
Anyone, any youth working in Lagos, you have to be in Lagos.
Yes.
Sometimes their farms is outside Lagos, but their
operating office
and their market is in Lagos. So based on so many criteria, you qualify if your innovation is good enough. You have to be innovative. It's nothing. It has to be highly competitive, and they're doing well. Awesome. I can say that. I'm sure they're looking forward to 2026.
I asked this question because the last one I happened to be there.
Okay.
And I saw a man that from his face I could tell that he was Fulani.
Yes.
And he won.
Yes.
So I was amazed that how come I don't need to ask to make your face tells me you are Fulani. He said he is, but he's operating. He's a farmer here in Lagos.
He's operating in Lagos.
Yeah. So that looks very.
He's operating in Lagos. Yeah.
All right. You're listening to Lagos Farmer here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. The conversation is getting more interesting. You can be a part of this. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a farmer, right, to even get in here right now. It's something that you can actually start from your home. And I hope gradually you will certainly have interest. I mean, all right, let's quickly talk about what the roads are looking like. For those of you around Mushin at this time, it's appreciable from Bolade in Wadoshodi. The arena, Brown Junction down to Oshodi underneath the bridge is a very good one. Oshodi, okay, descending through Terminal 2, also good, but you have it slow. From Kappa to Bolade. Ilukbeju bypass connecting Olajiri looks cool and calm. Olorun to Post Office Ojuwoye, a bit busy this time. Smooth flow from Iyano Lucy Dio Road to connect Bishop Junction, Cornwall to Moshalashi, looking very good. All right, let's return to the conversation. We still have Mrs. Aramide Gansallo, Director, Agribusiness, Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. Now, let's talk about this agrithon, the grant. Is it targeted at the youth only, strictly, or farmers in Lagos?
Okay. It's a youth-based grant. The youth, I wouldn't give it. Okay, let's
Age
say between
bracket?
18 to like 35, 40.
Oh, 35,
most.
40.
Yeah. At most. But 30, more of 35.
I didn't judge this is a youth.
No, it does not qualify. It's for the youth that are doing wonders in agriculture space.
Okay.
And we just try to encourage them as long as they can present what they do and they can stand by their innovation.
Taiwo, it will surprise you because I happen to be there, okay? That many of the people who won, okay, sharing their testimonies, did not study agriculture. Yes, a number of them I was that did not study agriculture. So passion led them there, and then they excelled.
Yeah.
They excelled.
Right.
Meanwhile, people who study agriculture, some feel that agriculture does not pay. So it was a very interesting gathering.
You'll be surprised a lot of them were raised from agri-produce.
Like you.
Yes. They were raised from agri-produce and they just assume that it is not a profitable business. Well, I'm not one of those who think it's not a profitable business. Right. Yeah. So let's look at it from this angle now. So we don't get to disenfranchise anyone here. We're focusing on the youth now, but I don't have the statistics, but I just have a feeling that those who really, do the work do not fall into this age bracket that you talked about from 18 to 40, 35. 40. So what happens to those between 40 to about 55 who are still, active on the farm?
Okay.
In most cases now, from what I have noticed, it is usually the middleman that makes the money. So that we have a win-win for all, the consumer, the middleman, and the man on the farm. Okay. How are we, achieving this?
Okay, for in Lagos State, no farmer have been left unattended to. For our farmers, and they will testify to that recently we had the Onja Eco farmers subsidy, whereby their inputs were given to them at a discount. Then, aside that, this program, the structures we're building is actually for farmers in production. We have what we call Produce for Lagos, and we have what we call Produce in Lagos.
Okay.
For Produce in Lagos,
yes,
is for our farmers within Lagos.
Okay.
Because the structure we're having in Epe is going to mop up almost everything produced in Lagos and outside Lagos. So we are creating markets, because one of the challenges farmers do have is the outlets to sell. You'll be surprised that farmer cannot take their produce directly to any market in Lagos. They have to belong one way or the other. And that's what brought about the mid-level agri-produce hub in Idioro, where we are even multiplying right now. We're already having one in Agege. One is already ready at Abijo in Aja. We're going to be having in Ikorodu. We're going to be having one in the heart of Lagos on Lagos Island. And many more will come up because Mr. Governor promised that each local government should have a middle level hub.
Okay.
And that is the market where farmers can take their produce directly to. Quality, wholesome, at good price, and all that.
Amazing.
So we're creating markets as well as giving them inputs at a discounted rate.
Right.
Aside that, as a department, we ensure that we link them to business meetings that will profit what they do. Because networking, information that money could not buy can better what you do.
True.
Exactly. So we are not leaving our farmers unattended to. And if anything happens, also the LSCTF also attend to farmers, no matter your age. I just mentioned that since we were talking about youth at that time.
Yeah.
Now they still attend to normal farmers. You are in production, you are in processing, you are in storage and marketing. LSCTF also still attend to them. So we are not leaving the older farmers unattended to in Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems.
Before our time is fast spent,
Okay.
tell us about insurance.
Yes.
You know, some of us are very prayerful. God will take care of us.
One of the roles that we play as Agribusiness Department is ensuring that our farmers embrace agricultural insurance. You know, most times we tend to feel that some things cannot happen to me. And the next thing you say is, God forbid.
Sure.
Bad thing. God forbid. Bad thing.
God forbid bad thing or whatever. But we are taking agri insurance to farmers in Lagos State through the insurance companies that have come to us to ensure that they have a product for farmers. And we are taking it to them, trying to tell them right now that insurance is important to you. Government cannot continue to pay compensation when there is disaster. It's better you insure your farm, insure your produce, so that when disaster comes, insurance take it up. Because how many people government is going to be giving money to? The market people are there. Today, there is a fire incident in one area or in another area. Then farmers too. Then flood is there that affects farmers. So many other things affect them. So we are taking insurance and we are taking it serious. We go to their meetings, we talk to them about insurance and ensure they embrace insurance. Like I always tell them, that now we are begging you to take up agri insurance. Government might come one day to weigh this stick and say, without your insurance certificate, there will be no benefits.
Sure.
But for now, we are just advocating and we are asking them to embrace agri insurance so that it's going to be a win-win for both government and the stakeholders.
Before we wrap it up on the show, it's been a clamor for gender equality across the board, even globally, and we shouldn't fail to focus on that also in the agribusiness. So what specific agripreneur incentive are currently available to, women and, the younger generation?
Oh, we already spoke about the younger generation.
Yeah.
But even as that, we catch them from schools, the younger generation, and there are lots of package and programs for them. For women, under our agency, we have Women in Agric. Is a whole component, a department that ensures that women that in agriculture are taken care of, both off-season and on-season. So there is no gender bias in all our programs. there was even a project that we rounded off before our post project, specifically CADP, that is Commercial Agricultural Development Project. Women stand out in that project. So women are taken care of in agriculture.
All right, Lagos, Nigeria. It's been a wonderful time on Lagos Farmer this afternoon. We have been speaking with Mrs. Aramide Gansallo, Director, Agribusiness, Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. This is where we wrap it up on today's edition
But
of
to
the program.
contact us, this program is brought to you by Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems.
And we are visible on every social platform.
Awesome.
We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, everywhere. And you can send us a mail.
But to contact us on phone, you can call 0802 320 1282. One more time, 0802 320 1282.
All right, maximum shout out to our social media team, Daniel Downsy. Big ups to Victor Terry, and of course our executive producer is Taya Akonli. The program makes a return next week, Friday at 4:30. I remain Taiwo Barua.
And I'm Adedeji Dulesi. Au revoir.
Thanks for having me.